So this, ladies and gentlemen, is Zilbel, Peter, Beastie, doing the Good Ride review of the LibTech Cortada.
You?
No,
Dynamo.
Dynamo.
What's
That's
wrong
the
with
women's.
you?
Yeah. I was just doing women's reviews. I've got to be a man again.
It's BC's favorite board, the Cortada.
Yes, it's a women's mid-wide. That's so fucking cool.
It means a small shot of espresso with a bit of steamed milk.
He's so smart. That's some RT.
We rode this today with Adidas Response. DC what?
Oh, the Shuckster.
The Shuckster, Adidas Tactical ADVs, and the Highlander.
Solomon
From
Highlander.
Solomon, there can only be one. And just to give you a quick summary of this board, it's kind of a C3, kind of magical, fun, quick turning, pretty aggressive magnet traction, kind of directionalist board, as you can see here. Kind of show you the profile. And I just loved its quick turning, good edge holding nature in the conditions that we had, and feel it could be a good all-rounder, kind of one-board quiver, you know, for those who like more of a camber feel. But now let's get into the flex, the pop, and the butterability. I could not butter this that well, could you guys?
Not too much. It was pretty stiff. I mean, you can see the reinforced top sheet there.
Then again, I can barely butter a piece of toast these days.
Yeah.
So that one's not on me.
You're like cold butter on soft bread.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
You could play around with it a little bit, but it wasn't like, it's not a buttery.
No, it definitely
board.
wants to be more in the stiffer,
Yeah.
poppier. It's got lots of nice pop, and but yeah.
Yeah, I got some good air on it for sure. Like, it was easy to get off.
Yeah, it's got good pop, and I
Yeah.
think as it breaks in, it might get a little better. You know,
Right.
like Mervin boards sometimes come out real stiff and then start to like
Yeah.
break in a little faster maybe than some, but you know, some do, some don't.
Yeah.
But you know, as far as the camber profile, the C3 feels pretty aggressive. There might be maybe just a hint of early rise, but this camber profile definitely feels like more on the advanced to expert side. It's not an easy board to skid your turns with, and I feel like if you want to learn, like if you're an intermediate rider and you want to learn like we all learned, you know, in the O's and the 90s and
Yeah.
the 80s.
That's where bananas were cool.
Yeah, this is pretty unforgiving in the modern times.
Right.
But it's very stable, super easy to 1 foot, you know, super easy to flat base and just go down a long cat track. And
Slow-
it's just got a, what?
Oh, when you're slow, it doesn't really want to turn though. Like a lot of the more aggressive boards, it just kind of wants to just go straight. Don't try
Yeah.
to turn, or else you're like gonna
Yeah.
fall over.
Yeah, if you get off your game and you want to
Yeah.
skid,
Yeah.
No, and it's
Be
like
careful.
super quick turn initiation. It feels like, no, it wants to do like much bigger,
Yeah.
more straight.
Right.
I felt
turns.
once you got this moving just a little bit, you
Yeah.
could start to get some spring out of the turns and, you know, get some pretty good turn initiation. But as far as edge hold, this is just, you know, if you ride in the East Coast, ride in harder areas, you can kind of see this magnet traction right here. You know, it feels like mellow, but feels maybe like it's 0.5, but it might be full mag. We don't really have that spec, but it's got good grip. It was my favorite of the three we were riding because it had stability and grip.
Yeah. It was my favorite of the three we were riding as well. Also because of the stability in the grip.
I would say I like that, but for me, I couldn't carve as hard as I wanted to. So the magnet traction, like, I think I like to really set it in there, and the magnet traction is actually hurting my turn. But overall, though, like on a medium turn, or like if you just want to go straight down the mountain, I'm sure it's going to do great. But if you actually want to do the turning that I want to do, it's not going to work. But you know, the maybe less aggressive turns or something like that. I don't know how to really put it.
So I felt like I could roll it over, like when we're
Yeah,
talking
rolling's-
turning over, I
rolling's
could
great.
roll it over edge to edge real quick.
Yes.
Like, let's say I'm in the trees or something, or in a tight spot, or you just want to do quick turns.
Yes, that's going to do it.
This does really well. Then I felt
But they're
like
aggressive and not playful.
right, you
like,
have to be
you have to-
be
you
engaging the camber.
really have to engage it.
and working
Yeah.
your legs. You can't
Yes.
just kind of lean.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to drop. You have to power it. You have to make that camber pop to make it spring.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you do that, if you put the work in. Okay, Steven, what's next on our to-do card?
Sorry.
We have a checklist this year, so we're covering all things. And Steven just grabbed it and pulled it up. But the turning experience in carving, I felt.
Give Steven, you just wrote that. No, I will not. We're not going to do that.
Maybe later.
We need a happy ending later.
Give Peter one more beer. We'll get there. We'll get there. But the turning experience in carving on this, I felt like I loved carving on this board. I loved the kind of the wider, kind of that more turning. Like you were saying, is like as you engage that camber
Right.
and it pops in and out, it has a really good. It's C3, man. It's almost full camber. It's
Yeah.
just got a little passive rocker, just a ever so passive rocker in the middle that's way off the snow. So it's for all intents and purposes, almost full camber and maybe just a touch of early rise before the nose. So it's like that mostly camber, just super carvy, turny feel. And I actually really just like the overall turning experience. Zobel, I think you were conflicted between.
I was conflicted. I was maybe trying to do, I don't know, I tried to do a couple hard carves into it, which is good, but then I always run into my big feet issue, and I then got some nice toe drag and just skin it out. So there's part of that, so I couldn't really fully engage. That's my problem. I couldn't fully engage it.
See, I was having fun getting fully engaged with this.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we went to Vegas.
When's the wedding?
Yeah.
Sport, and you are that aggressive rider, you want to do those hard turns and carves, make sure your boot fits the toe width right here. The waist
Yeah.
width, it's probably, I mean, there's not too much
God
angle
damn it,
to
Zobel,
it.
you're making my job so much harder. I'm getting emails going, what's the width here?
Again, do the
Mostly gonna be
research.
me
So like
emailing him
for
like 100 times from
for
different
at least
email
my
addresses.
center waist width with my boards needs to be like 260, whereas Beastie might be okay at the 150. So
Yeah.
size your waist width according to your feet. That's where I had the
Yeah.
hindrance here.
And 10 and a half.
Yes.
8,
Well, 11
9,
and a half.
And 8 and a half.
Right.
These are the size of our feet. So, and you know, this is great for me. This waist width, this board is great for me.
It was great for me.
But maybe if
I
you're-
need to
if
go
you're
either
leaning
wider
towards the
or a
mid-wide.
longer board for me.
Yeah.
Mid-wide would be perfect.
Yeah. And then as far as like uneven, like getting up speed, I like this. I felt
Oh,
it
speed was
damp
great.
and fast.
Yeah.
It has that same like
Yeah.
LibTech energy that sometimes can be a touch chattery, but never bad enough to be a problem when you're
Right.
bombing. You guys feel the same?
I feel
Yeah,
the same.
I felt very comfortable in hitting uneven terrain and getting high speeds on this.
I love this graphic.
Yeah.
Graphics fun.
But uneven terrain, we didn't have much, but I felt like I could, you know, weave in and out of bumps fairly well. Maybe not the best in the world, but I felt very confident and comfortable doing that. And I could power over and deal with some of this. We have like, you know, like this typical Colorado snow. It's got like, it's soft in some areas, really hard in others. And then it's got that kind of like micro bumpy chatter, you know, like, and this handled that pretty well. With but we were paired up with, you know, Highlanders that have a lot of shock absorption, and we all have lots of shock absorption on our boots.
Yes.
Yeah. So switch, it was okay.
Yeah.
I
Not
rode
bad
it a
for-
little switch, but when it's
Not bad
most-
for a directional board.
right.
You know, this might even have a touch,
It'll-
a little bit of taper.
It'll get you out of hard spots
Yeah.
if you need to.
But I mean, because it's mostly camber, it's definitely not going to be like you should be good at riding switch.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention in like carving and turning, it didn't feel a lot washy off the tail.
No.
No, not
No.
at all.
Steven's hurrying us along.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Oh
Right,
no, it's
10.
okay. I set it to a different setting so we can get through 10
So we can
minutes.
babble on longer.
All right,
and
let's
longer.
start back at the top.
We can jibba jabba all day.
Hey, speaking of
Hey.
jibba jabba, what about parks, jumps, and jibs and jabs?
I would ride this in half pipe very well because I'm not the kind of guy who's just like dropping switch. And, you know what I mean?
Well, half pipe you got to switch.
No, just a lot of saliva just shot
Good
out
thing
right
I have
this
all this facial protection.
switch.
So, I mean, it's the directional board, so you can take it in the park and pipe. It's going to do well, especially on the big booters in the pipe, but it's not going to be your main park or pipe board because it is directional. So you got that going against
Yeah.
you. You can ride out of something switch easy, but you can see the shape. That's not what it's meant for.
Yeah, I'd love just carving walls of the pipe and
Yeah.
hitting a kicker or two, as long as I'm not getting bringing switch too much
Right.
into my game.
Yeah,
You'd hit a kicker or two?
you got to stay on the ground. His old man hits.
I do, Peter. Actually, I do hit a kicker or two every once in a while.
Like the little
I believe it.
2-inch ones.
Yeah,
They're cute.
I'm like a kitty park hero it. Yeah, these old hips of mine.
Yeah, but overall, I'd say, yeah, this definitely lends itself more to speed carving, aggressive style, not super fun, washy, playful, by any means. So if that's what you're like looking for, then yeah, this is going to be a wonderful board and have a lot of edge hold.
Yeah.
And with
Yeah.
the ability to have a lot of,
Very dynamic,
yeah,
playful, fun, directionally carvy board.
Right.
yeah.
Fantastic.
I don't know whether or not I'm filming.
Should be blinking red.
I am filming. Yep. Yeah, 10 seconds, 11, 12, 13 seconds, 14, 15 seconds. Got some good video there. Yep, still filming. Still filming, Beastie. Okay. Still filming.